There's always been gender bias in journalism, that a lot of journalists were men, and there still is a predominance of men in the print industry, and in broadcast there's sort of a bias against older women, and it's a preference for younger faces especially in television. This is changing. It has been changing in the UK quite a long time now. There's been awareness that fewer women in frontline journalism, and we started seeing quite high-profile cases when older journalists, women, are being pushed aside, and then they fight back, and people in public opinion takes notice of that. There's an awareness that for a woman, it's much more difficult to be an older face on television, and work for men. Older men are seen as authoritative, and they stay on and they have very long careers. I think there's also been a kind of a specialization around kind of some areas of journalism, finance, business, sports, where you have lots of men. It's been seen traditionally as an area where men dominate because it's a masculine world and they have those contacts within the business community or the sports area. But again, those areas tend to change, and there are a lot of women, for instance, working in sports journalism at the moment, and in that sense, we can see progress. Without having a lot of empirical data, probably PR is a little bit different. It's a very new area, and a lot of young PR professionals working in the industry are women. And I think, at least in terms of the entry level, that industry is fairly balanced. And it's again due to the novelty of the area and the fact that graduates move into that, and we have a lot of female students completing courses in media and PR. Empirically, I can say that there's probably a more balanced representation of journalists. But as I said, it's fairly complex, and we see change in journalism where faces and names are more balanced, but then behind the scenes, in newsrooms, editorial boards, ownership structures are very, very male, and there's a lot to do, and a lot of change to happen. So there's an awareness, but the progress is very slow, and I'm not entirely sure there's a very simple solution to this. There's been a lot of public pressure, as I said, about in particular in the broadcasting, certain women who wanted to be seen and pushed aside, so campaigns and social media to reinstate news presenters or reporters who were marginalised or retired too early because they were women. And I think that kind of pressure from the public wanting to see the favourite journalists back on the screen is probably making an impact. But beyond that, I think it's a process of awareness that has to happen at the kind of higher levels in journalism, in newsrooms, and editorial boards, and level of executive.